Osho Naman. When you think about Shiva, he's kind of the end of the line, the one who shows up when everything else has just stopped working. He's this figure, chilling in the mountains, covered in ash, just meditating right through all the chaos. He is Shiva, and today we're going to try and really understand who he is.
So for a long time, especially in the West, you hear the name Shiva, and you immediately think destroyer, an ending, a negative force. But what if that's just a tiny piece of the puzzle? What if we've got it all wrong? What if that destruction isn't the end, but actually a really necessary and even compassionate new beginning?
Think about it like a forest fire. I know, it sounds devastating, right? It's raw, it's absolute. But then what happens? From those very ashes, new life starts to push through, and it's often stronger and more vibrant than what was there before. Well, that's the kind of destruction Shiva is all about. He's the force that clears away all the old stuff that no longer serves us, not because he's angry, but because it's necessary to make space for something better to grow.
And this right here, this brings us to the central mystery of Shiva. He is basically a walking, breathing contradiction that somehow makes perfect sense. It's a divine paradox. A single being who holds all these completely opposite forces in perfect, beautiful balance. So, let's dive into what that actually means.
I mean, how can one being be all of these things at once? On one hand, he's Adiyogi, the first yogi, sitting in absolute perfect stillness. But then, he's also Nataraja, the lord of the dance, whose cosmic rhythm spins the entire universe into being. He's the ultimate hermit, totally detached from the world, and yet, he's a fiercely loving and devoted husband and father. He's the destroyer of everything, but also the very source of creation. See what I mean? That's the paradox we need to wrap our heads around.
So, let's start with his oldest known identity. We're talking over 15,000 years ago. A being just appears in the Himalayas. People called him Adiyogi, the very first yogi. And what's so wild is that he wasn't some god on a throne demanding to be worshipped. Nope, he was a teacher. And his teaching was radical. He basically said, forget looking for answers out there in the heavens. The ultimate answers are found inside yourself.
And here is the absolute core of what he taught. Adiyogi's power was never about being superhuman. In fact, he never performed a single miracle. Not one. Instead, what he did was give humanity the tools, the actual technology of yoga, to explore the deepest parts of ourselves, to go way beyond the limits we put on our own minds and bodies. His whole message was, you don't need to be superhuman, because being human is already super.
Okay, so how did these incredible teachings get passed down? Well, not just through words, but through something you could almost call a visual theology. That iconic image of Shiva you see everywhere. It's not just a piece of religious art, it's a spiritual map. Every little detail is a symbol, a guide to understanding the universe, your own mind, and the path to real freedom.
Just look at this. This single form holds an entire universe of meaning. It's a whole visual language that communicates these incredibly profound cosmic ideas. So let's break down a few of the most powerful symbols and see what they're really telling us.
All right, let's start with the most famous one, right? The third eye. Now, this isn't a physical eye you can see. It represents a gateway to inner vision, to a higher level of consciousness that sees right through all the illusions of everyday reality. And when this eye opens, it doesn't just see the truth. It has the power to burn away everything that's false, all the ego, all the desire, all the noise.
And what about that serpent coiled around his neck? In a lot of stories, a snake symbolizes something evil, but here it's the exact opposite. It stands for pure alertness. It means that even when Shiva is in the deepest possible meditation, he is 100% aware. And its three coils, they symbolize his complete mastery over time itself, the past, the present, and the future. He holds it all.
So this mastery brings us to this amazing, dramatic story. Ages and ages ago, the gods and the demons decided to churn the great cosmic ocean, trying to get the nectar of immortality. But in the middle of all this churning, they accidentally unleashed a poison called hala hala. This stuff was so toxic, it literally threatened to wipe out all of existence.
Total panic. The gods who are supposed to create and preserve the universe, they were totally helpless. The poison was spreading, and everything was on the brink of ending, forever. In their desperation, they turned to the one being who exists both at the very edge of society and at the absolute center of the cosmos. They turned to Shiva.
And without even a moment of hesitation, Shiva did the unthinkable. He took the poison and he drank it. But, and this is the key, he didn't swallow it. He just held it in his throat, neutralizing its deadly power and saving the entire universe. His throat turned a deep, dark blue, and that's why he got the name Nilakanta, the blue-throated one. This act just perfectly shows his true nature. He's not some god of random destruction. He's the ultimate protector who literally absorbs the world's suffering and transforms it.
So we go from the absolute stillness of the yogi to his most dynamic, most energetic form, Nataraja, the Lord of the Dance. And this isn't just a dance for show. This is the fundamental rhythm of the universe itself. Every galaxy spinning in space, every heart beating in every creature, it's all part of this one single cosmic performance.
Look at this powerful image. In this one pose, Shiva is performing 5 essential cosmic acts all at the same time. It's like a snapshot of the entire cycle of existence, a visual representation of the universe in constant motion. So let's look closer at his hands, his feet, his posture. Every single gesture tells a part of the story.
Okay, so here's the breakdown. See that small drum in his upper right hand? Its beat is the sound of creation itself. The flame in his upper left hand? That's destruction. The cycle continues. His open lower palm is a gesture of preservation, saying, "Do not be afraid." The other hand, pointing down, represents the power of illusion, that veil of reality that we all get lost in sometimes. And finally, that raised foot, that symbolizes liberation, the path to freedom from all of it. The entire story of life is right there in that dance.
But maybe the most profound lesson is what's happening under his other foot. He's standing on a small demonic figure, which represents our ignorance and our ego. But look closely. He isn't crushing it. He's not trying to destroy it. He's just subduing it, holding it down. And the teaching there is incredible. You can't just annihilate your ego. You actually need it to function in the world. But you can't be a slave to it either. You have to master it, transcend it, and ultimately dance upon it.
So, after all this, the cosmic destroyer, the first yogi, the Lord of the Dance, what does any of it mean for you and me, right here, right now? Well, the final teaching is surprisingly personal, and honestly, it's incredibly empowering.
This one idea, which comes straight from Adiyogi's original teaching, it just reframes everything. The whole point isn't to become some god or get some kind of supernatural powers. The whole point is to realize the incredible potential that is already packed into this human form. The entire system of yoga is just a set of tools to unlock how absolutely fantastic it is just to be human.
At the end of the day, the sources teach that Shiva isn't really an external person you worship from a distance. Shiva is a principle, a state of pure consciousness. He is the infinite emptiness from which everything is born and the space into which everything dissolves. He's the awareness that's witnessing your thoughts right now. He's the stillness between your breaths. And he's the potential for perfect balance that exists inside every single one of us.
So, I'll just leave you with this thought. Shiva's cosmic dance of creation and destruction, that's not just some ancient story that happened in a distant galaxy. It's happening right now, in every atom, in every one of your cells, in every single thought that passes through your mind. So, what if the universe isn't just something out there that you look up at? What if it's already dancing inside you?